Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to clarify ourselves how this practice can help for us to develop our awareness. For the meditation, there is another meaning. It's called cultivation of the mind. Cultivate through awareness. Because the highest gain out of your life that you can have is your awareness. It doesn't matter whatever the position you reach, if you lose your awareness, it becomes useless. So each and every step in your life depend on the awareness that you carry with you. But unfortunately, more than our inner awareness, we mostly focus to our outside circumstances. So then, out of that outside situations, we look for happiness, satisfaction, comfort, and the development of life. Of course, it will bring some kind of satisfaction or the happiness or the development, but it always going to disappear. It's not going to be with you. So if you look very carefully, your own past is kind of like unnecessary baggage. It's kind of like invalid money, because you had it and you hold it to it, you spend so much time on it, but now it anymore not going to give any kind of help for your life. But still, we have our nature to look always to outside. But what the meditation does, meditation will help you to bring your awareness to the present moment. Because we have deeper inner nature. Our heart always have the desires. And at the same time, when the heart have the desires, the mind start to create on that desires. That is where we experience this conventional life. It is a combination of the heart desires and the mental creations. So it's not going to end itself. But still, what will happen? By the time you're going to stagnate that the different kind of habits, patterns, thoughts. So when the mind stagnate with the thoughts, patterns, what happens? It start to become more and more solid with the habitual patterns. And you lose the ability to grow. It's kind of like a lack of growing, lack of activity, lack of development happen when the mind get into stagnate. So it's same kind of like when you have too much files on your computer, it will start to slow down the system. And at the same, when it slow down the system, at the same time, it will start to heat up the all inside current. So same situation happen inside us. So then to release your mind, in the very beginning, you have to understand the very behavior and very nature of the mind. So your consciousness and your subconsciousness or your memory itself deeper has a connection within your body and the mind. So the meditation is a method kind of like giving the energy, new energy to your mind. Why? Because it always depending on the past and the habitual patterns, and it already run through the very old, the memory, energy, so already stuck. So the meditation is a kind of like a way, it like a rejuvenation, giving the new way of life. And when you have it, you're not going to be a different person, but at the same time, you're not going to be the same person. But in the moment, you're going to experience something. So that growth will help you to move forward. Why it is necessary? The reason is that we, as ordinary people, we always look and ponder these outside situations, even ourselves, as who we are today and from our past. So this is the difference between the meditation and just the ordinary mind. Remember this. The ordinary mind always ponder and look how things came to be as they are. That's the ordinary mind does. That's through the schools, that's through the universities, through the books, that is what we learn. How things came to be as they are. But it doesn't help for you to get out of the situation. It brings some information and you become more happy with that information and you settle down with it. And you're going to be with the same environment and you're going to be with the same mentality. So then, as you know, there are people used to ask from the Buddha how the world happened, from where it start, from how this life starts, so like kind of like that. Then the Buddha gave a simile. What? The simile. If the person hit with the arrow, you're not going to look from where it came and what kind of iron it made by and what is the design, what kind of feathers end of that arrow, and what kind of person and the height or the color of the person. You're not going to look for that. You have to take out the arrow and treat for that person. The same like that, or the whatever the situations or the environment around us, investigating and looking and trying to find the reasons for that not going to help for us to change our situations. It will bring more and more and greed, hatred, and the delusion to our mind. And out of that, we will build up the anxiety, depression, unhappiness, fear, unsatisfaction. So then what we need to do? We have to come to a point, rather than how things came to be as they are, we have to look how things come to be as they are. So that's mean you have to come to the present moment and see in this very moment how things happening. So when it comes to that, then we're going to minimize that little bit more, not about even the outside circumstances or the situations, how things come to be as they are inside you. So what is that inside you mean? Your experience. How things come to be as experience yourself. What's the mean by experience? What the mean by you see something? What the mean by you hear something? What the mean by you smell something? What the mean by you taste something? What the mean by you feel something? How you going to interpret that? How you yourself going to understand it? So then that is where you have to remember the awareness not separate from the action. So the meditation will allow you to come to a point. Your action become your awareness. Your awareness become itself your action. Remember from today, with your bodily, verbally, mentally action, don't separately look for that. Your awareness, your consciousness itself, your bodily, verbally, and mentally action. And once you come to that point, you will understand the whole life itself, the moment of living itself is your meditation. Then you no need the moment to sit and contemplate itself. Why? Because each and every action that you go through, that you experience, is itself your meditation. But the thing is, when the mind becomes with full of memory, or the thoughts, or the past experience, or the future desires, so this stagnant nature will hold you, and then it calcify your very behavior of life. And when it calcifies your inside, you become prisoner, you become very limited person to your own thoughts, your own believing. That's where the self-centered mind becomes stronger, and out of the self-centered mind, egocentric idea, the self-centered view going to dominate your life. And once you lose that flexibility, and once you lose the ability to move, once you lose the ability to cultivate, and you become kind of like teeth in the middle of the tongue. What does that mean? Look at the tongue. Is there when you born, but the teeth come later. But the thing is, the teeth will lose very soon, but till you die, your tongue going to be there. And the tongue is so flexible. But the teeth, so strong. But the thing is, it will come later and disappear very soon. When you become strong, too much strong, tight, you lose the ability to move forward, stay longer. So in your mind, you thought that is what it does to you. That is what it brings to you. You become like teeth. But learn to be like the tongue. Be there. Be flexible. And be like the heart. That it is there already with you. And you have each and every, that the atom in your body has this nature. It's called autotelic ability. Autotelic ability means that it has its own nature, the pattern to go with it, to develop itself, and to find the ultimate, the growth itself. So that's why the Nibbana itself inside you. So the autotelic method means when you bring your heart and mind together, once you develop your consciousness to be with your action, once you bring your action as the consciousness and the consciousness become your action, your entire body and mind develop to the highest level of recognition. It is there. You don't need to bring it from outside. So then only thing is you have to find it in the right way. So you can get it, you can develop that, you can bring that autotelic ability to yourself by being in the present moment. Not by how things came, recognizing how things came to be as they are, but by recognizing how things come to be as they are. So then always remember yourself. As a human being, you already experienced this life, you are enough matured to understand yourself, how this life happening. So if you just want to happen the life as it's already happened to you, just let it be there. But in case if you look for something to get out of this, then in the very first thing that you have to come to a point to keep the very comfortable, relaxed environment inside your mind. So the meditation brings that ability to you. That is what we call another way, undisturbed mind, tranquility state, one-pointness. So once you have it, from that point you are able to develop your awareness more deeper, and then you can gain ability to recognize that even though you see something, hear something, smell something, taste something, and feel something, we all recognize it by name and form. But beyond the name and form, there is something else happening. That is the change. So in the deeper level of vipassana practice, you deeply get connected to this change happening moment by moment, moment by moment. It's a kind of like, why? Because you need some kind of mental ability. It is an invisible fundamental process beyond the name and form. But in the very conventional life, we are caught up in the visible, very ordinary state of patterns and the forms. But in the deeper level, this everything has a very nature that always in change, always moving. There is no any kind of structure, the solid moment going to be. Just imagine this entire universe. There is nothing that going to be in any kind of solid form. But our mind, when it comes to names and form, you always take it as something solid. So in the vipassana level, you go deeper to understand, even though you see something, and rather than caught up it with the names or the form, and you have ability to see the invisible fundamental process of that what you see. So what you hear, rather than caught up on the name or the form, you have ability to recognize that invisible, not the visible, because the visible come out of the name and form. So invisible fundamental process. What you smell, there is something in a very conventional level, we go with very visible, ordinary level of process. But at the same time, there is another nature, invisible fundamental process. So what with the taste also the same. That when you eat something, you think that what you eat bring the taste. It is a very conventional level of the visible level of recognition, because you recognize through what you eat. But there is another way, the taste come out of not what you eat. It is a deeper biochemical reaction in your body. And at the same time, there is the deeper, the reactions of the elements that have with that food. So then it is a kind of like an invisible fundamental process. So that's why when you are in the vipassana level, you go towards that. The sensation the same. Even the thought patterns the same. So then there are two natures of the world. You can experience something is as exist, and that is visible, ordinary level of process. That's why we say, oh, there is something. Oh, this is this. This is that. But if it is like that, so as example, this pen, we can visible. It's a very ordinary way of recognition, the process. And you can say there is a pen. So then how about we keep this for 1,000 years and come back and see, you will not going to see this pen like this. After 1,000 years, it's going to be something else. If this is the pen, why it happened like that way? So then, even though in the moment we see this as pen, at the same time, in this very moment, within these material things, even there is an invisible fundamental process happening. So once you come to that, even though you see this as a pen in the moment, in your mind, you're not going to take it as a permanent name or the form. So then you experience it, but in the mind, you become free from it. So then how about that everything we experience, even ourselves with this body and mind? And how about this everything? And once you come to understand this invisible fundamental process, then itself, there is no experience. Why? Because even that this body, in a very conventional level, we take it as a visible, ordinary way of process. But even in this body, there is invisible fundamental process that happening moment by moment, which related to change. So once you know that, you're not going to get into any kind of permanent self-centered view regarding even yourself. And once you get out of that permanent self-centered view, you are more into just the present moment, and you will do whatever the best for you according to your abilities to the outside world. So that's why this understanding, this vipassana level of understanding, it's bring two ways of result. One is it will bring the understanding to yourself, to the fundamental level of the fundamental process deeper happening invisibly, and it will take you out of the permanent, the idea of the self or the name or the form. That is one thing. Another one is with your bodily, verbally, mentally actions, you're not going to become very limited to just only the understanding. You combine that understanding to your actions, and then whatever your bodily, verbally, mentally actions, you bring the best out of it, and that is what we call the right way of living. So when it comes to that, so understanding become right and your actions become right. Once this both become harness, your moment of living itself become right, and out of that, your liberation, your transformation, your ultimate bliss of Nibbana going to be there with you in that very moment. Because out of that understanding, out of that living, there is no any kind of permanent self-centered view, or there is no any kind of permanent solid name or form going to be with you. So, by thinking you can't get that, even though practice point of view, we just explain this way. When you go through practice and experience it yourself, that become more and more clear for you. So this is the moment, little bit we're going to give our best for practice. For that, we always take our inhalation, exhalation as our primary mental object. So once you settle down with the posture, keep your back straight, neck, head straight in one line, and allow your inhalation, exhalation happen itself. When it happens, bring your clear attention towards in front of your nose and your upper lip area, and allow your inhalation, exhalation happens itself. So by the time, at the same time, remember, don't try to make any comments. Don't keep inner chattering yourself. Don't try to interfere with that natural process of your inhalation, exhalation. But always remember, knowingly you observe, but don't try to verbalize it. Just be with the experience. Knowingly, the moment of recognition itself, your awareness. So moment by moment, try to increase the duration to be with it and see what you experience. Be very clear, be open to your practice. Don't hold something in your mind and don't look with the half of mind. Be fully engaged with the practice. Then you will recognize something. So with that, keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. Gently close your eyes and bring your attention to your body, please. And scan head to toes 3 times yourself. And say Supat Deva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation. And allow your inhalation, exhalations happen itself. And recognize it through the sensation. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, to your right side, downward, and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cha ammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Imaya Dhamma Patipattiya Buddham Pujemi Dhammam Pujemi Sangham Pujemi Mattaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadhi Maranam Ha Paribunjisami Idamme Punya Kammang Asavakkaya Vang Hotu Sabba Dukkha Pamunchatu. Bless you.